Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I will be recording myself every day this week from Monday to Friday to show you how I go about my day, especially when it comes to my work. And for those of you who do not know, I am a research fellow in data science and artificial intelligence. And yeah, I just hope that for anyone interested in research, you will be able to get an insight of how a day might look like for you, especially when you're doing research in academia. And if you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and share. I started my day with watching videos for this online course that I'm taking. It's about data structures and algorithms for machine learning and machine learning optimization. And it's an online course on O'Reilly. And so, right now, since I already did that, I'm about to go to the office and I will show you my activities today. But basically, the first thing that I have is a meeting with one of the representatives from AIMS. If you don't know about AIMS, it's the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, and that is where I did my master's. And I also got this research fellowship that I'm on through AIMS. And after the AIMS meeting, I will read some papers, do some research, and implement some code. So basically, that's what I'll be doing, and I will show you as I go about the day. So I am currently working on video face clustering. So I found this paper. It was accepted for ICCV 2019, and they have a link to their GitHub account. So yeah, I think I want to see how the code works and then read the paper and see if there's something that I can take from it. So yeah, I've already opened their GitHub, and then there's a link to download some of the files so I can preview them. So I did this, but unfortunately they have a file extension that I don't know. So I'm gonna figure out how to open these files and then continue working on understanding the code and reading the paper. So that's it for today. Hey guys, today is Tuesday and we're continuing with the week. So like yesterday, I woke up today and I watched videos for the online course that I'm doing, and I'm about to go to the office now, and most of my work today will be continuing with reading papers and trying to figure out if there's anything that I can take from them and implement for my own project. So for those of you who do not understand research, how do I explain this? So if you've ever had an idea or something that you were interested in and you didn't know what it was or how to go about it, the first thing that you would do is probably to do a Google search, right? So you go on your browser or on Google and you search what it is and you find some results, right? And what you do is after you get results, you click on the links and try to figure out which result makes sense and which one is easy to understand, right? So basically that's what it is when it comes to research. You have a project topic, you either come up with it or you talk to your supervisor about how to come up with a project topic. In my case, my supervisor suggested a topic for me and I just took it. So the research part now is I try to understand the topic, what is it about, and which methods were implemented to similar projects. So in my case, my supervisor had worked on a similar project some years before. So I just started working from that paper that they published, and I tried to figure out if there's anything that I can improve or anything that I can take and combine with other things to improve the whole process. And I'm also working with data that is quite different from the data that they were working with before. So some of the things will be different. So I have to read. So when you're doing scientific research, you have to read reputable sources, right? It's okay to read blogs and other sources, but when you're writing up now, it's important to cite reputable sources, right? So this is where you look up published papers, and then you try to replicate what was done before, and also you just try to understand what was happening. It depends on your approach, or you can just take away something that you combine with other things, and then your project works out. So the challenge is that when you're working with something different, so for me, I'm working with real life data from classrooms. So it means the videos have poor lighting, and because the teacher, because the videos are recorded from the teacher's viewpoint, the teacher is always moving. Some of the images from the videos are not quite clear. So it's always difficult when you're working with real world data as compared to data that is processed or that was recorded in a proper setup that has perfect lighting and all of that. So yeah, that's basically what my project, what research, is it research? Is it my project? Okay. That's basically what my project and research is about. And this is why I'm always trying to read papers and trying to see if I can implement something. And also, I'm also working with some code that was done by some people from my research group. And yeah, so it's just trying to combine those and see what works out. So let's go to the office, and yeah, you'll just watch me reading papers and getting confused. Because with research, it's confusing most of the time. So sometimes you're like, yeah, it's like a eureka moment. You feel like I found the implementation or maybe the best approach for this. And then 2 weeks down the line, you're like, no, this doesn't work for what I'm doing. So sometimes you feel like you know what you're doing. And sometimes, most of the times, actually, it's very confusing. And yeah, so stay tuned and comment, subscribe, and share, guys. So one thing I like to do when I'm reading papers is I like to highlight some of the important references so I can look them up after reading a section of the paper, so that I don't have to go to them each time I see something that might be interesting. I will just read them after completing a part of the paper and then continue with the rest of the paper. And sometimes I have separate colors according to the type of information that I'm highlighting, so that when I go back to it, I will know that green is for this particular thing and yellow is for this particular thing. So I started my day with watching some videos from the online course that I'm doing. And right now I'm about to go to the office and I'll continue reading papers. So if you remember, I told you on Monday that I was reading a paper and I was trying to see if I could understand the code or implement part of it, but that didn't work out. So I don't know what the problem is. So I've been running into files that are difficult to open. Sometimes it's a file extension that I have no idea about, and I'm trying to download applications that can open these files and it's not working. And the other thing is, with the other paper, they have like compressed files, and I tried opening them and they're giving me errors. Like, I don't even know what the problem is. So yeah, I figured, let me just continue reading the papers and I'll learn something regarding the background or the ideas of the people who wrote the paper, like what they were thinking about or the sources they looked into when they wrote their paper, because it's related to what I want to do. Yeah, so I'm continuing with that today, and then in the evening I have a discussion with my mentor. So recently I realized that I'm interested in machine learning research in organizations. So that's where I want to go. But if you have looked at machine learning applications or like job advertisements, you will realize that most of the time it's either they say like you need to have maybe a PhD, or it's not need, it's they say it's preferred. So they say maybe a PhD is preferred or someone with publications in the field, but I don't have those. So I need someone to just help direct me into how I can better position myself for these roles. So I need feedback on my CV and feedback on my skill set. So what can I improve? What can I do? And how do I go about it? So yeah, I'm hoping to get that from the session today. If you're interested in machine learning mentorship, you can go to the Deep Learning Indaba website. They have mentorship applications open. So that's how I got matched with my mentor. Yeah, so that's how it's going to go for me today. So stay tuned and enjoy. Hey guys, so I'm back in my room now. I'm back from the office and I'm waiting for the discussion with my mentor. He is a research scientist at Facebook Reality Labs, well, now called Meta Reality Labs. I'm hoping that I will learn a lot from him. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I started in March, and it was supposed to be for 6 months, but now it has been extended up to the end of November. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, so I'm working.
You're in Tübingen?
Yeah, so right now I'm in Tübingen. Yeah, that's where I am.
All right, very good, very good. Tübingen is great. Now, in terms of your resume, let me take a quick look to give you maybe if I have any suggestions. We have references, we have languages, tools. I like the tools. You know way more things than I do.
No.
Why don't we add the Python stuff on the tools, for example? Or for example, you could organize the tools into, let's say, machine learning / programming languages or something, like maybe categorize them a little if you want. And you could definitely add Python, right? Because you have it at the top, at the first, at your calendar roll, you have Python. And then the last thing is, if you could, I think this, I'm repeating myself, right? So, do you have a website? You do actually, let me see. Oh, here we are. Nice. Projects. Nah, exactly. So, it's similar exactly to what you have right now. You have some projects, right? You have a GitHub.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Then that's exactly what I meant.
It's not very active.
It's okay. Mine is not very active either. Don't worry about it. But that's exactly what I would say, right? Like, it makes perfect sense that what you're working on cannot be showcased, the private data and the project and all that. But maybe there is something else that it could showcase.
So my meeting is done, guys. So I'll just share with you what he told me. I was really worried about my CV because I was like, does my CV look good enough for the roles that I'm interested in? So he said in terms of that, it looks good in terms of the skills and qualifications. But the only challenge is that most of the roles that I am interested in, they do require a PhD. So they say it's preferred, but at the end of the day, they will pick someone who has a PhD. I mean, if it's a good company, obviously someone with a PhD will have applied. So yeah, my chances will be pretty low. So he gave me pointers on how to improve some of the things on my CV so that it looks more structured. So yeah, that's it about my CV and my skills. And then he also said that in terms of the roles that I'm interested in, it's also important to network with people in the companies or in the roles that I'm interested in, because especially when it comes to companies, if you get a referral, you have more chances of getting an interview. So yeah, that will work for me. So yeah, I'll just continue with, because I'm big on telling people to network and connect with people, and always been doing that. I mean, for more than a year now. So yeah, I'll just put more effort into that, and connect with more people who can hopefully help me get a referral, or just help me to point me to opportunities that may suit me, right? And then he also recommends Lead Code, if you want to work on preparing for technical interviews. He says Lead Code is a good platform. Yeah, so I also work on that. So that's it. Well, that's all I can share regarding my meeting. And the good thing is it's not a one-time meeting, so there are chances of discussions in the future. So yeah, so in the meantime, I'll just be working on the things that he told me to work on or he suggested. And by the next time we meet, I'll have something. And it's also good that I got his email. So even if something comes up before the meeting date, I can always send an email and we can talk. So I did learn a lot, and this was a very good opportunity for me. So I'd highly recommend it to anyone who thinks that mentorship is good, who needs to talk to someone in a role that they're interested in. So especially with machine learning research, deep learning Indaba has some mentors who are working in really good roles. So I'd highly recommend it. Okay, bye guys. See you tomorrow. Days I started my day with the online course that I'm doing, and right now I'm about to go to the office. So I'll just do some work and I will help out one of my colleagues. He needs help, I think, with data collection for his VR study. So I'm going to be one of the participants. So yeah, I'll show you that. Also, I'm passing the ball. Okay.
If it works out, I will do it. If it doesn't work out, I will.
Okay.
There you can see your players.
Okay. Okay. Hey guys, it's Friday and it's the last day of my week because I only go to the office from Monday to Friday. So thank you for your patience and enjoy the rest of my week.
We've already detailed gradient descent, but as I brought up in the preceding video about critical points, gradient descent in its most vanilla form could result in us getting stuck in a local minimum or a local maximum and not finding our way to the